So, in addition to being a Steam Deck owner, I also have a trusty old Nintendo Switch, and whilst the hardware continues to fall further behind that of its competition, I tend to keep a loose eye on Nintendo Directs, Indie Directs, and partner showcases, in case anything comes by that catches my attention. And yes, I went into yesterday's Direct with my fingers crossed for Hollow Knight Silksong, but instead we got something old, and the memories I have of this game are kind of worth pure gold. So we are talking today about the Star Wars Classic Collection that was announced in the Nintendo Direct but isn't exclusive to the Nintendo Switch itself, but is seeing a cross-platform release including on Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, and most importantly with Steam Deck support according to the article on the StarWars.com website itself. Skimming through the details of the announcement, we are getting online play with up to 64 players, all previously released bonus content including bonus maps and heroes. And for me, I enjoyed the hell out of these games way back when they were released on the PlayStation 2, and even to this day I still have the discs. In fact, I'm just going to pause the video and grab them right now. And that did not take me long at all. In fact, here we go. We have the originals. We'll just try and get it without all of the lighting glare. There we go, that'll work. So here we have the originals. And yes, I still, on rare occasions, boot them up. I still have the PlayStation 2 back there. Although at some point I need to get these games backed up so I can emulate them. But I guess I might not need to actually emulate them going forwards thanks to this classic collection. Now, yes, back in the day, I didn't have online play at the time, as these were the days of dial-up internet, at least for our household. And not having a PC version, I was never even aware of the bonus content that was alluded to in the announcement. But the games didn't really need either of these for me to enjoy them. I probably got hundreds and hundreds of hours out of these games alone. Complete with split screen, a story-driven campaign, a more tactical campaign that saw you moving the fleet around a map, stat and wargear upgrades that you unlocked through actual gameplay, not by purchasing things in an in-game store. The ability to play as your favourite heroes and villains, yeah. For certain matches, if you hit a certain milestone, you could run around as Darth Vader for about a minute. It was that fun. And most importantly, we had space battles. Oh, and on the ground, we had ground and vehicle combat. Wow, butchered that one, didn't I? I meant to say, on the ground, we had ground and aerial vehicular combat, including the ability to take down AT-AT walkers with cables exactly like in the films on Hoth, which has always been a thrill to pull off for me. In the years that followed, we saw a new Star Wars Battlefront reboot that came complete with all of the predatory microtransactions that we are now become familiar with today. And I managed to keep a distance myself from these newer games, whilst booting up this classic on rare occasions. Whenever someone fancied a good old split screen experience, this was the game to go to. It was either that or Jack X, because I didn't have the biggest of library back in the day. But yeah, the part of the experience I always considered to have the most timeless appeal out of everything in these games, and this is most definitely notable for Battlefront 2, is space battles. Yeah, the ability to choose your own role in a space battle. Do you stay on board the capital ship manning the guns and repelling invaders? Do you take flight and shoot down enemy fighters? Or maybe you go straight for the capital ship's main systems, hitting that shield generator hard with your bombers. And let's not forget boarding the enemy ship itself to engage in sabotage. Over the years, I did encounter the PC version of the original Battlefront 2 on Steam, heavily discounted, and probably snapped it up for just a couple of quid. But the game suffered heavily at the time from compatibility issues because I think we'd gone into Windows 10 by then, and I had great difficulty when I did get it running to actually run with the controller I had at the time. It was probably a cheap controller, but nonetheless, it kind of left me to abandon that particular copy of the game. I just forgot it existed and never even bothered installing it on the Steam Deck. But knowing this Classic Collection bundle version will come with the Steam Deck support and controller support, I'm probably going to be going all in on this one when it releases. So yeah, the odds are I will be getting it, and I'll be getting it on the Steam Deck, not the Nintendo Switch. Given the fact that the Switch is nearing the end of its product life cycle, and Valve have proven themselves trustworthy in maintaining their customers' digital libraries, a lot more than the bigger players like Nintendo who continue to shut down particular eShops, yeah, it kind of feels like a no-brainer for me to get it on the Steam Deck as opposed to the Switch. Yeah, the game collection itself releases on the 14th of March this year. So we're talking, what, 3 weeks away? 3.5 weeks, something like that. And I've already hit that wishlist button on Steam on the off chance that I forget when it releases. At least then I'll get an email saying, hey, this game is now released. And that is a genuine prospect between work and all of the time I put into this channel. But anyways, what were your favourite experience in these classic games? Which of these games was your actual favourite? Was it Battlefront 2? Or was it the classic of the classic, Battlefront 1? Yeah, which was your favourite? And if you do enjoy a good sci-fi game, feel free to hit that subscribe button. For the most part, most of the games I seem to be covering at the moment are sci-fi. That just seems to be where I end up. I mostly cover a mobile game centred around spaceships. You'll figure it out quite quickly what game I'm covering just from all the titles on the other videos. And I am looking at covering No Man's Sky a little bit. My most recent No Man's Sky video did a little bit better than I was expecting, so I'm going to see what No Man's Sky videos I can actually do in the meantime. And of course, when Star Wars Battlefront 1 and 2 releases as a bundle, I'll most likely be doing at least a couple of videos on those games just to get the feel for them again. But anyway, until then, fly casual, fly dangerous, and most importantly, have a good time. This is Hale, signing off.